Hi guys, welcome to Origin. This is the second video in my Not the Same series, and this one is going to be a response to, well, a video I made 4 years ago called Uni Summary. I summarised my experiences at university. I'm not going to repeat what I said there, but the basic idea that I want to talk about in this video was that the internet is a better method for actually learning than going to university is. That's obviously taking aside the fact of, degrees help when it comes to getting a job and stuff like that. In terms of actually learning, it's a better method. Now, I don't entirely disagree with that idea all of a sudden. I've not changed my mind that much. The problem that I have with what I said 4 years ago is that it doesn't take into account the sheer number of opportunities for distraction that is available on the internet. And I think a few people pointed that out in the comments below. At the time, I've just watched it back just a few minutes ago, and I'm quite taken aback by actually how angry I seemed at the time. Maybe some of it has to do with the way I edit my videos. I think this format definitely works better because it seemed kind of very, I don't know how to describe it, just very artificial. That's just not natural at all. And I'm kind of glad I'm doing it this way now. But yeah, let's not go off on a tangent. Obviously anyway. Yes, so I was angry, but I think overall you have to look at the fact that there are distractions on the internet. You can't ignore that point. Since 2011, since I made that video, a lot of things have changed in terms of internet education. Obviously Khan Academy was around before that, but in recent years it's got its own website. It's grown tremendously, and it's now got this kind of gamified learning system for at least, certainly the more mathematical subjects, but it does seem to be growing and spreading out through all different types of subjects. So that's a good thing, and if it can motivate people to learn, and if it can get around the problem of having constant distractions and ending up procrastinating by going on Facebook or YouTube, then that's a good thing. But there are alternatives as well. There's stuff like Coursera and Udacity, which actually solve one of the problems that I talked about in my previous video, where, by the way, I'll link all these sites, but the problem was, I said that obviously if you learn on the internet, you're not getting a proper qualification, so it doesn't really mean much when it comes to job interview situations. But in Udacity, at least, you can get this thing called a nano degree, where you have to pay a certain fee, but you have access to not just all of the YouTube videos which have been uploaded by the professors in charge of the courses, tailored for online learning, but you also have basically you have access to them or their colleagues personally. You can talk to them. I think you can talk to them on Skype, but you also have access to a community of others that are learning there. Some of the details might not be completely accurate. I'm just doing this off the cuff again, but if anyone's interested in Autodidacticism, which self-learning, that's the technical term for it, like I am, I'd highly recommend Udacity. There is still, I think, the issue of procrastination. We're still waiting for the killer app, if you like, that solves all the problems with internet education, and maybe it's not going to happen on the internet. Maybe we have to Anyway, maybe you just need to work on I think gamification has potential as an idea to solve this, but there needs to be a better way to do it, a more rewarding way, a more engaging way, but I think it can be done. But the key point is we're not there yet. We still have to deal with all of these distractions. We still end up procrastinating, and it still feels like more of a chore, at least to me in a way. Maybe you guys feel differently than it does. Then I guess it really should. And that's not much of an improvement on uni. I still think it's a slight improvement in that, I'm not falling asleep in my lecture courses. I think the words I used in the video were in a writing race with the professor. But, yeah. If anyone in the... actually, that's another idea as well. I was watching this video yesterday. I think it was a BuzzFeed video. Perfectly demonstrating my point about procrastinating here, but they were talking about visual thinkers and saying, if you were, if you do a lot of these things, then you're probably a visual thinker, and a lot of them definitely apply to me. The key point to make here is I don't think there's really a site that's geared toward visual thinkers. I think maybe quite a lot of people are and maybe don't know it so much, so if anyone's an aspiring entrepreneur in the comments and looking for startup ideas, I think you could probably design that killer app that I'm talking about if you based your learning system on visual thinking. If you made videos where the ideas were kind of in a more image-based format, a video-based format, and I'm not talking about what Khan Academy does, where they where Sal's got his blackboard and he just draws in coloured shapes on it. I'm talking about proper, 3D animations. You can download Blender, it's free, it's open source, and you can just make these. I've got it myself. I sometimes toy around with it. It's how I made my channel logo. If you go to my channel, I've made lots of different stuff. The origin logo as well, the kind of O-shaped eye thing. I did that in Blender, but if you get that, then you can essentially make 3D models for free, and you could design a curriculum based on visualizing the big ideas you want to try and educate people about, rather than just, drone on and on in a monotonous voice, kind of like I do, but, and it being even worse because you're trying to actually teach people something, So yeah, I think I'll stop it there, but hopefully you guys get the idea. But what I guess the question I want to ask people here is, what have been, do you tend to try and learn stuff on the internet? What have been your experiences like that? How does it compare to your own experiences at school or university? And what do you think we really need in order to crack internet-based education, or to get away from the old university system? I think it can be done, and I think, quite frankly, it needs to be done, given that given that people are going into such massive debt, certainly as well, going to university. Something's got to give, something's got to change. So let me know what you guys think, and as always, thank you for watching. Goodbye.